What's up, Chiefs Kingdom? This is Dominic Minchella. I am the Kansas City Chiefs beat writer on SI and the host of the Kansas City Chiefs Insider Podcast. Once again, thank you guys so much for stopping in and spending a little bit of your day with me, night, whatever time you're watching / listening. I appreciate the stop in regardless. So, we've been talking a lot about prospects recently on the show. Now we're just going to now that the mini camp is over, we're going to shift into what a big improvement the Chiefs are likely to have going into next season. Specifically, the improvement of the wide receiving room. So, as we know, there were some pieces gone. Most of the core is back. Patrick Mahomes has touched on it and that he's very happy that there's more of familiar faces coming back into the offensive game plan, especially in the wide receiving room. So then they don't necessarily have to rebuild that kind of chemistry and trust. They've been working through some of their programs and routes at since the offseason has begun. Obviously, some players are more active than others because of their injuries. Specifically, Rashee Rice. He is a super exciting player to watch come back because I think he's got vengeance on his mind, not only for the fact that his second season in the league after a very strong first season was cut short, but his no one likes to watch from the sideline, especially if you're a National Football League player. So we're going to break down the state of the wide receiving room. It's at least the six that I believe truly have a good chance at making the roster, especially carrying the load. So let's start off with Xavier Worthy. We saw great improvement of Xavier Worthy and growth last season. As we know, he was the Chiefs 2024 first round pick. And now that he is more or less settled in Kansas City, so to say, it's very important to think how much further the floor can get for Xavier Worthy. I say so because last year he was able to record 638 receiving yards during the regular season. While they were down and out in the Super Bowl, he was still the guy to go to. But you would have to think, in part, the Eagles knew that they were going to win that game. And even if there was still time left on the clock, the deficit was very far. But so Worthy wasn't having as much pressure in those situations, at least to bring him in, but he looked good doing so. He's a fast and young, teachable guy that I think is, if he can stay healthy and collect more targets this season as well as receptions, he could not only lead the team in receptions, but he might be able to lead the league. No, not the league. Lead the franchise in receiving yards. We haven't seen the Chiefs, any of their Chiefs receivers, touch over 1,000 receiving yards since Travis Kelce did so last. So, with the youth that they have in the room, I believe paired with Xavier Worthy, Rashee Rice, they're going to be able to collect most of the brunt work. Looking forward to the second season for Worthy. Now, Rashee Rice, as I already touched on him, he's been looking great on the offseason recovery. As we know, he was only able to play in a handful of games last season before he got injured, a brutal injury as well. From the rehab and recovery through posts that he's put through his social media, and through what Patrick Mahomes has said, he is route running very well. It looks like his speed is underneath him. The best thing about the injury, if there is one, is that he's young and still able to, build up the bones once again, his strength. And we all know that Rice's strength comes in his legs. He is so freaking fast. That's going to be a guy that I think, paired with Worthy, can lead the National Football League in like the stars of duos, as we've seen in the past from several franchises, there are mainly two wide receivers who receive like the star status, so to say. And I think that with some time and obviously targets, both Rashee Rice and Xavier Worthy can become that duo, that feared duo wide receivers for the Kansas City Chiefs. Now, here's a fun one. Hollywood Brown. The Chiefs brought him back. He was not a huge factor last season, just to put it bluntly. His injury put, dampers on his Chiefs debut, but they decided to bring him back, and good on them, because I think that similar to Rashee Rice, he's got a fire that's lit underneath him, and he wants to prove that he is still worthy to go out there. The cool thing, and I can definitely see why the Chiefs brought him back. This is a guy, he's still young, but he's got experience. Young and experience is the perfect recipe for success in the wide receiving room. Hollywood Brown, at one point in his career, was able to receive over 1,000 receiving yards, 1,008 to be precise. While he hasn't touched that since, I can see Patrick Mahomes or even Gardner Minshew, should anything happen or a big blowout, go to Hollywood Brown for the big moments in games. He's a veteran. He's earned that right. I also think that with the lack of time last season, this off-season programming, he's going to be working to get the chemistry up, learning the offensive game plan, and being able to take his game back to the level that we saw it with previously before he joined Kansas City. Let's talk about Juju Smith-Schuster. So, as we know, he's also been able to haul in over 1,000 receiving yards in his career in the past. I think that part of his game might be put past him, but similar to the veteran status, he is the veteran in the locker room. He said in his in his press conferences that he is looking forward just to help the team out in any way possible. That's what you're looking for from a receiver like him. In the past, he's been able to total a career high of 1,426 receiving yards. Obviously, that did not happen with the Kansas City Chiefs, but he might be able to improve what he was able to do last season. I wouldn't say that he's the guy to go to all the time, but he is still valuable on the field whenever they do put him there. So here's one guy that is interesting, an interesting case. So Sky Moore was such a high draft pick, but has not performed like it. And that's just the truth. It's blunt. I know. He's last season in 3 targets, he had 0 receptions, and that's not a good sign because his career high per year was 250. That came in his rookie season. I think that this is the year, if they do let him stay on the roster, that you've got to, that's your make or break year. I think that he also knows that, and it's either time to sink or swim. And from watching him train thus far in the offseason, I think that he knows that too. And he knows that he would rather swim than sink. And then 2 other guys. One's the new draftee, Jalen Royals. In his collegiate season, he's been able to total over 1,000 receiving yards. That's huge, especially if Rashee Rice is not cleared medically or if he's suspended to start the season. Royals, while might be in a situation to where he still has to learn and develop, I think that if given the opportunity, he's going to be able to shine for the Kansas City Chiefs. He's a bright young man, and I think that he's got all the tools to make it in the league. He is one of those players that the Chiefs got in a later round than projected, and he's still got a high amount of value. It's going to be fun to see what his ceiling is or his floor this season, as well as undrafted free agent Elijah Badger. We've talked about him before. So he was projected to go in the 6th round, as we stated a few episodes ago. If you missed that, go check it out. In 12 games, he had 806 receiving yards, 39 receptions. He's fast. The game comes naturally to him. He believes he's got something to prove, and that's why I think that even throughout the training camp, he's going to earn his spot on this roster and add even more depth to an already youthful wide receiving group that is playing in Kansas City. That's going to conclude it. I am looking forward to seeing how dangerous this wide receiving crew is this upcoming season, and I hope you guys are too. As always, flashing it right now. You can check us out on social media. You can follow me on X, Dom Minchella. I post and repost every single day, as well as follow the page at Kansas City Chiefs on SI on X. We post everything that we write throughout the day, totally for free. We'd love to have you guys join on the journey. And as we get closer and closer to the 2025 beginning of the campaign, I'm looking forward to keep on covering the offseason and sharing it with you guys. Thank you guys so much. As always, I will see you guys tomorrow. Be kind to one another. I'll see you.